Today we're gonna learn Bootstrap. Bootstrap is HTML and CSS framework that help us basically to do many things that on these programming languages are quite complicated. So basically its purpose is to facilitate concepts, some coding blocks. Bootstrap basically works with classes, okay? And while adding a specific class to a div, for example, we are gonna get something, okay? But with select. Hello and welcome back to Cipheros. Today we will take a basic crash course, okay, of Bootstrap, and I assume that you know already HTML and CSS. And during this series, what we are gonna do is just to create a simple web page, no complicated, okay, a static one, basically without so much JavaScript, about what you've learned of self-help books, etc. Basically anything about literature or reading. It's gonna be something like cards, information, quotes, reflections, thoughts. You got it. Also, we're gonna count how many books we read, okay, until this instant on. So I don't have to say anything else. Okay? This is an example of how I am using Bootstrap at this point. I got this web page that is about calisthenics, Galleria di Calisthenia. It is on Italian, but it does not matter. Okay, my calisthenic goals. Okay, beginner, intermediate, advanced, requirements, body weight, gymnastics, and we have an index over here. For example, now these cards are not enough, and we're going to add other 8 ones. Go to that page number 2. Basically the same way that Google works. So, alright, and we're gonna see, okay, right here on news, for example, now we get 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I go to the 9, I get more stuff. Finally, we have this carousel, just on a slider. And also, we're gonna start right now. I will let you this link down below to the Bootstrap official website. Build fast, responsive with Bootstrap, and what you only have to do is to click right here on download to install all the Bootstrap stuff. It's about new lines of code, well, classes, just like other libraries. So we're gonna go over the documentation right here, okay, on the first item of the navbar. Yes, if I copy and paste this, okay, we're gonna create a new HTML file.html, and we will write self-improvement, write it here like books.html, copy paste this, and the only difference you will see is that first, this thing is wrong, it's doc type. The only thing you will see different is the links to get the Bootstrap components for CSS as well as JavaScript, but downloading it, you can use them without internet, okay, or connection, web connection, you get the point. But setting these links, we can start right now. Okay, so I will open it with live server, we get this, and we're gonna let out this documentation because seriously, it's about copy pasting and changing some stuff. Okay, but yes, is it necessary to learn all the codes? No, but you will learn it along the process. Yes, at the beginning you will copy paste, basically like most of programmers, but it does not matter. Eventually you will memorize, okay? Not memorize, but actually now all the stuff's on your head. Something is that the web page by itself is gonna be responsive. Responsive by itself, Bootstrap will help us to do that, and you will see it throughout the process. So for now, we don't have anything, and every HTML file before adding some CSS is actually responsive. Okay, so first we have to do some stuff. So we're gonna start with writing a div. Obviously, everything is about a div. And the title, we're gonna write P lorem for now, because it's just an example. You will see we have the same stuff, okay, but with some changes. The title is gonna be, I don't know, all my read books on this 2022. This dot is not necessary. All my red books on this 2023. Okay, a lot of episodes to the lot seen are met, and let's actually get started with this. Okay, we're gonna write our first class that's about container, and as you see, we are actually adding a padding. It sounds really weird on the x-axis, but for now it is not working on the y-axis, and this div is already responsive. That's all. Basically, it's about centering, okay? But I don't like that it's on the top, so I will add some margin inside the div. We get back onto this and we'll write my, and for example 5. As you see, it's looking very well. This MI is established actually for margin on the y-axis to number 5, okay, TL and number 5, because there are scales for this. If I write 1, you will see that this margin is being applied a bit, but if I write, for example, 3, this is increasing until 5. For now, until the current Bootstrap version, that is 5.3, we have only to the 5 scale. Same margin, okay, but as you see, I don't like it, so I will quit it, and that's all. We are working only with classes. And yes, for minimalist people, actually it looks very well, but we want to add some more. On this paragraph, we'll add another class called lead, and well, it looks minimalist, but with more details. And let's be lazy. For this instant on, we're gonna add a navbar. So we're gonna go onto the Bootstrap web page documentation and we will look for navbars. On the component section, we get navbar over here, okay? And we're gonna copy paste, as most of programmers, by the way. Right here is the example, and down below is the code. I will look for some exemplar that I like, and I guess that is really cool. Maybe, okay? Yeah, I will set it like here. Just pick the one you want, copy, and let's paste it here. I will create another div here, maybe ordering. We get like this, and that's all. So this looks very ugly because we don't have an image. We're gonna search for aesthetic books here. This image is source, and that's all. Okay. Actually, I will look for an icon images just like here because it is not looking so well. Copy pasting here. This looks very ugly again. It doesn't matter. We're gonna modify the width and length. Okay, 40 and 40. Now this looks better. We can modify also the text, and we're gonna write, I don't know, books. It looks better. Now I would like to add this search text box button. So the only difference between what we've just recently done, this form section, we're gonna copy paste it right here, and as you see, we get it. And obviously this looks very ugly also, so on this div we're gonna add the class container padding no, because it looks terrible, and right here it is center. As you see, the difference between the colors, okay, between these are too small, so I want to change the color. We're gonna go over here, copy paste. What's the difference between these both? Just the data Bootstrap theme, okay, that's dark for this example, and this background primary, okay, that's for this color. And if you want to customize it with the color that you want, just add the style background color and then the hexadecimal code. So I will do that. Style background color. As you see, this changing. But I will add this, and it's not changing because we have this background body tertiary, and this looks well. We only have to arrange some stuffs. I don't know why this is not looking well. You are wondering about what's the difference between container and container fluid. Container fluid is something that's default if container is not being specified. So I will wait this stuff and container, and here, right here, we'll quit it, and that's all. Now it looks very well. So we can write over here what we want and then search, and nothing will happen because for now this web page is static. Right? It does not have dynamic stuff like JavaScript or TypeScript or some functionalities. For now, it's just reading. This button looks very ugly, so I'm gonna go over here. And on the buttons components, you will see that there are many classes, okay, that by default come with Bootstrap. You can see and experiment with them. I know that on this case, this search button is the same than this success button. And as you see, for making this one, you need to write button, type button, class button, outline success. But I want this line one. So over here, and just change it. Definitively, this looks better. Okay, whether you are interested of making the text just like this, okay, center it, what you have to do is just to add this class. Again, it's about a container, sm, center, and you will see that it works, but I don't like to do that for now, and I will let it as it is. Now, let's talk about cards. As you see on the calisthenics gallery, these are the cards. These are not hard to make, but Bootstrap facilitates us with the creation process. On the comp, again with components, if you go onto the card section, we're gonna see that it's already done. Cards are built with a little markups and styles as possible, but they still manage to deliver a ton of control with customization. This is at more advanced, but currently we must be content with what they give us. To not make it boring with the same cards that you see on many tutorials, we're gonna set another one. I guess that this kind of cards, yeah, we're gonna use it. Right here inside the div, I will write another one and just paste this card, and as you see we get what we want. The image selection lies on yourself. Now I will write this, and as you see we get the power of now. Okay, this image is quite big, so I will set a class. This would be a, I don't know, a card div, a card div, label card. Here we're gonna add the style, and we'll dot card div here with self. While the images must be the same, it's like making a mask. Okay, doing this looks very well. Card div image, and we get that. We must actually move it right here, and we have to do is object hit here, object position, center on the x-axis, and bottom on the y-axis. But remind yourself that this must be applied, not just watch and okay, I know this and I already know Bootstrap. No, you must apply it and you must play basically with this. Okay, this is the beauty of programming. You don't have a specific level and that's all. And you finish the challenge. No, you can experiment with this and take it like a sandbox where your imagination is the only limit. And this sounds very lovely. We're gonna finish, okay, with the cards, in which for now there will be all the books that I've read that just are 5. Yeah, these aren't too many, okay, but I guess that it's better that these aren't many. Then we're gonna learn how to build the carousel. It's a kind of a slider, and how to use the modal and those buttons, which are like tabs, respectively for a notification and then extra text. And finally, we're gonna learn how to build this placeholder glow that are just bars that shine. So we're gonna go over here and just copy paste this 3, 4, 5, and that's all. We get that. I got a class over here on this div, and that's about the flex. This is the same thing for the CSS attribute display flex, and then I will make a class here called G to say gap 5. Sorry, okay, this is seriously about in beginning doesn't matter. We have to learn actually what does mean, and I will let this class just like cards. And that's all, but we don't need to use that. So we're gonna create a div with a class called row, and I want 3 cards on each row. We know that rows are horizontal and columns are vertical, so I want 2 rows, 3 columns. So it's really easy to work with this. You must close this with 3 cards, and as you see, we are getting what we want. The same thing will be over here, getting this right here, and I will add another card just for making the things aesthetically. And now we must understand how gridding works with Bootstrap. I don't want to make it complicated, but basically it's just about numbers. And our screen be divided into 12 parts. So if I want to work with gridding, I have to consider the number 12. In this case, because we have 3 elements and I am working with 12 parts on the screen, I'm gonna use the 4th part for each. How does this work? We must open other divs right here. This div card is gonna be inside of this call SM4. Okay, and I forgot that this must be a dash. And just repeat the same thing right here. We're gonna get that here. And here we go, 3 columns. And as you see, it is working pretty well. In this case, I will do the same thing, but I also want to show you how does it work, for example, with 2 elements. I will quit this card right here. I will set this, and I will create 2 columns more. So getting these 2 columns, because these are just 2, this must add up to 12. Okay, and a 4 plus 4 is not 12. So depending on what we want, how much space this column must be taking, we select, okay, what's the number that we want. For example, I want that this use 8/12 of the width page. That's the same for 2/3. And if we inspect inside the web page, we're gonna see that this is a row and this is also a row. But as you see, this column is taking most of the space, while it isn't because it's just 4. We call SM8, call SM4. We go over here, being divided. For aesthetic purposes, I will just set right here another card, and we are already building the web page. By the way, we need a padding PY here 3. It is good. Is it good? No, I prefer 5. So that's all. And over here, I will set 3 on all the cards. But this is not the only card type that we can use actually. In ourselves right here on the cards documentation for the framework, and getting really down, we're gonna find this image overlays. This is a card title, an image into a card background and overlay. Copy paste. Okay, copy paste. I'm making a space. Okay, I will create here a column, copy paste. It is all okay except for the gridding, and that's because on a row cannot be more than 12 space, okay, because we have here like 16, no, 4 times 4 16, so we must actually do some math, okay, because there are 4 elements and those must be divided into 12 spaces, okay, with 3 for each one. Editing this, we get that, and this is the image. I will do the same thing with the other row and just we must edit it, that's all. Because these cards really depend on the image, I will just set them. In my case, I want to, I don't know, the 48 loss of power. Getting this image, we can see how it works. Don't worry if, for example, the image is not working as you want, because aesthetically this looks very ugly compared with the other cards. We're edited with some CSS just right here. Okay, I will set an ID for this div and I will say overlay card. I'm going right here, CSS, I'm going here, overlay card, width, I don't know. Well, the image is obviously that it's not gonna be adapt, so targeting the image, we say that its width is 100%, while its height also 100%, and as you see, it's working. Setting this, no, it's too much, 17, it works better, 16.8. The image does not have to be affected, okay, by the width and height of the div. By that, we use object fig cover, and that's all. Okay, it looks very well. I will reduce the opacity to see that text 0.5, while the background color is gonna be black of this div, and that's all. Seriously, this looks very well. While the text and text aligns. Okay, with text align we get it. Okay, with text align we get it, and that's all. Why I'm doing this? Okay, because this background must be black for making this image with this appearance. If we don't make the background black, it will get mixed with this background white. And right here I will eliminate these two updates, okay, for this card title, and just copy paste for now on this part this really beautiful card called overlay. Okay, it's work. And by the way, if you want to set all this title, this text down below, so we must edit that class card image overlay, padding, vertical and horizontal, 10 em. For now it's too much. I guess that 8, and I will add a bit of padding, horizontal padding. No, but I guess that it's perfect. 7.5 n and 1 m. And yes, I just have to do the same thing with all the cards, but I guess that these tags I will let it to the other video. We're gonna add the carousel. Going through the Bootstrap web page, we get this part called a carousel. This is the slideshow component for cycling through elements, image, slides, or text like a carousel. You have the freedom to read all the documentation. I will just use it while explaining some basic concepts on the practical side. There are many carousels, but for now I like, okay, there are not many, but I like the third one called with indicators, just like Apple. Yeah, seriously, that it looks pretty well. So what we have to do is here is copy paste this carousel. I want that this gonna be applied or right here below Below that, all my red books, the cards are gonna be down on the carousel just for aesthetic purposes, as I said before. I'm gonna read the books. This is the cards, and here it's gonna be the carousel. It's a lot of text. Obviously, it cannot be seen, and that's because of the images. So let me add some images right here. For example, self-improvement books. So for example, I will add these 3 images, and as you see, it's being displayed. So the only thing we must set is some functions because it's not working at all. So right here on that carousel div, we must set interval 2000, and this attribute called data interval, okay, it is not just interval, it's for making it work automatically. Buttons, okay, and buttons, there are many. These are not so pretty. Okay, here on to the component section, and we will see on the part right here called buttons. And getting the buttons, we can see that it is actually very simple. The primary base on this part is about an HTML tag, just a button type button, okay, this for identifying a Bootstrap button, okay, class button, a base class and button, and that's all. Okay, so we're gonna copy paste this, okay, this is not working differently so much, and on this div I will create this class, the margin y, okay, on the y-axis, and as you can see there are many kind of buttons, okay, and this is actually just for changing the color, as you see, no, primary, secondary, danger, warning, info, light, dark, these are like the associations for each color, and want to change them. For example, I want to use the secondary button, okay, just to make it gray. We'll set class button secondary and add over here, no, button actually secondary secondary dash, and as you can see we are getting this button, setting this margin onto the y position. This is not, it's too low, and right here it gets better. Here just for adapting these elements, okay, to the topic of the web page, okay, all my red box on this 23, I will set, I don't know, some genders of self-improvement books, okay, spiritual, I don't know, history, and getting back to our Bootstrap demo website, we get spirituality, life strategy, okay, what we want actually. Outline button, just for changing the style. Memorize outline, light no, but success. I will go to this. We get this life strategy, spirituality, okay, and I don't know, checking all the stuff. So we can say that we can make this large, smaller, and with custom sizing, disability, disable state. Yeah, I will go onto this. We can set this disable attribute inside of the button tag, okay, but if we want, for example, on the anchor tag, on romances for now it will be disabled, okay, but it's not really, because I've read Atlas Shrugged that, and as you can see, actually there are not many kind of customizations, but we can be happy with this. Okay, I will just outline right here this other outline for aesthetic purposes. If this last one was danger, this history will be warning, and at this point, I don't know, primary looks well. Yeah, we have different kinds of buttons. And by the way, if you want to move this div into the right side, just we have to add some kind of stuffs, and these are these classes. Okay, gap 2, okay, for d md flex and justify content mdn, and as you see, it's right here. Next, we'll go to the alerts. It's not so complicated, and as you see, we're gonna make this minimalistic section, and I will add, I don't know, this simple success, because I like green, and also success, obviously. And if you want to make this, go onto the div, and you will get this alert, success role alert. Trying this out, we get this simple success alert, check it out. But you can write whatever you want. A cool Lord Ipsum Deluxe Ahmed, and we get what we want. However, if you want to make this kind of interaction with a button, this is the same thing actually. Add this button, okay, that's on the website, and paste also this code. Using this ID, live alert placeholder, we get actually what we want. We must be careful with what we do. Okay, show leaf alert. I don't know. We will write here. Do you like self-improvement books? And right here on this div leaf alert placeholder, right here on the append, it will be the message. So it will be something like Lauren Ipsum, the Lord did a met. And on the case in which you see that it's not showing the color, what we must do is go onto this. The div class alert, it's just for creating, okay, this part. And we must only add this alert success on your color that you desire on this part. So as you see, we get this alert many times as we want. I'm gonna add this class right here, margin top 3, Lauren Ipsum, Lauren Ipsum, Lauren Ipsum, many times that we want, okay? And I don't know what else to show. Spinners, for example, indicate the loading state of a component with Bootstrap spinner, boots entirely with HTML, CSS, and not JavaScript. Okay, we can use it actually, for example, creating a screen, a black screen, or any kind of a screen actually, for a couple of seconds, and then to get out this page, okay? But I will not show you because the main thing is just to show the spinner, okay? And the spinner is something like this: roll status, spam, be hidden, loading. And for finishing, we're gonna copy and paste this, okay? No, it's not kind of difficult. What determines the creation of this spinner is just this class spinner body and text primary, text secondary, text says, danger, warning, the kinds of colors that we've recently seen. So I will copy, I don't know, and there are many kinds, and I will go on to the text info. It looks well, and now we are just trying and trying and trying this part, text primary, okay, just for showing you how is all of this. We get these two spinners, and there are also different kinds of spinners. As you see, this is I don't like this, okay, because it looks really weird, okay, but we can try it, okay. And the same thing will happen with the colors. If we set the class text primary, text secondary, text success, danger, warning, info, light, dark, it will change according to the color, just like here, a glow, and we'll set the text a different kind, okay, of color success, okay. It looks very well. And for trying one more, we'll set the danger, that's red. You memorize it. Next, you can see how to add the margin, the placement, okay, to center it. If you want to add a text float, text align, the size, okay, that was a bit complicated, but the command size is just like this, okay, 3 rem, okay. It's basically with the style on the div, it gets adapt to the div, and you can add it also the buttons and this kind of stuff. Okay, so we didn't finish the Bootstrap website because it was not necessary, but we've actually learned how to set cards, carousels, buttons, okay, and disable it, how to set titles, delete property for text, in the search bar, the nav bar, the icon, the buttons, the spinners and its variations with their colors, also how to set alerts and link these alerts to buttons. Do you like the books? Do you remember it? Okay. And that's all for Bootstrap. Now I want to talk about modals. Basically, a modal is just a pop-up saying us a message, for example, not complete, you have successfully downloaded all the source code files. Also, if you've done a survey, you will get also this kind of pop-up, okay. And Bootstrap also has this kind of components integrated in the framework. So we must go onto the Bootstrap official website, go to the component section, and then the modal category. And as you see, there are many kind of modals that we can use on our website, okay, and with some variations, preference depending of each of us. No matter what is your purpose with programming and making websites, seriously that Bootstrap helps a lot. Still working with coding, okay? It would be like the WordPress and the Squarespace coding version, because yes, it has some pre-default things, but still we can customize the way that we want. However, Bootstrap may not be so flexible, and maybe it can be complicated for this point. So in conclusion, Bootstrap is good. It's good for beginners as well as advanced programmers, okay, in which deeply you can get to the code of the framework and then edit some stuff. So goodbye.
わけわかんない。